What's happening YouTube? Mike French here, and as always we have some really cool stuff for you today. We have the new KLX 110 build vlog series I'm going to be doing. This is going to be a multiple part vlog series on pretty much building this bike from start to finish. We're going to be stripping it down in this video, checking out what's wrong with it, what's needed, and then in the other parts we're going to be building it up, turning it into a full super mod so it can handle some serious business. So first off, a little background on the bike. I got it off of Craigslist off a local racer. He has the motor pretty built, but besides that it's all stock suspension and whatnot. It's got bars, but you know, it's pretty much stock in my opinion. So for the types of jumps that I'm used to hitting, I just don't think it's going to cut it. So anyways, we're going to be building this thing up, getting it all dialed in, and in this video today we're going to be tearing it down, figuring out what's wrong, what's needed, and what we're going to do in the future. But anyways, before we get into that, let's check out this bike. So here we go, cutting to some nice camera work. Alright guys, so here we are, we're in my garage. This is where I do all my work when I'm outside the shop. I usually work out of the Desert Assassin shop. That's where I have all my tools and fabrication equipment. But you know, when I come home after work or on the weekends, I love tinkering in my garage. I'm not really the type of guy to go out and party and go to the bars and spend money on that. I just like wrenching on stuff. That's what makes me happy and relieve stress. So anyways, here's the bike. This is how I bought it just as you see it. All I did was tune the carb and get it running better. But yeah, it's got all the motor parts you would ever want. It's got a 143 big bore kit with the V2 head on it. And it's freaking fast, guys. It throws me off in first and it wheelies all the way through second. And you can get it to wheelie in third if you tug on it a bit. So anyways, but yeah, suspension is stock on it. Stock swing arm, you know, stock forks. It's got bars. It's got motor mods. And it even has a stock pipe because the guy that I bought it off of, he loved riding it out of his doorstep and down the street. So yeah, it's still got a stock pipe on it, which is crazy, because it is so restrictive for having the mods that it has. It has a Mikuni VM26 carburetor that the main jet is a 155, and if this had a pipe on it, the main jet should be about a 185. So it's getting robbed of a couple horsepower at minimum because of that pipe. So we're gonna be getting rid of that in the future. But anyways, there's the bike. Here's the garage. I'll give you guys a quick tour of the garage because I really love seeing where people work and what their setups are. So here are some of my toys. We have a 2015 Santa Cruz Bronson C. This is a custom built bike I got from a local guy, and I love riding this bike. I used to be big into downhill and dirt jumping back in the day, but after getting hurt a bunch, I kind of throttled back on that. So I love pedaling this thing, hitting the local downhill trails here in SoCal, and yeah, hitting some jumps. This thing, you could really jump it. That seat obviously is hydraulic, so it comes down, and yeah, so anyways, that's my mountain bike. I do a lot of cross training and stuff on that. And then here's my main dirt bike. I have a 2014 KX450F, but this is my new bike. This is my 2017 KX450F. And wow, I just love this bike. It is a rocket ship. I got my custom Shovel Tech company graphics on there. It's got a bunch of cool aftermarket parts on it. It's got a Bill's pipe. It's been mapped and tuned by Tokyo Mods. And yeah, I just absolutely love this bike. So fast, so much fun, guys. So there's that. I'll do a video on this bike here in the future, and we'll be seeing a lot of motocross stuff on my channel about jumps, Ocotillo trips, whatever, track dates, you name it. But yeah, but behind that, I have a pretty rare bike. You guys probably haven't seen one of these before. It's only one of 2,500 imported into the United States. It's a 1993 KLX 650C. So this bike predated the KLR 650. And this is how it came. This is all original, turquoise frame, original graphics. I got it off a bike collector in Calabasas with only 4,000 original miles. And I bought it back in 2015. So shoot, this guy barely rode it, and I'm happy he kept it fresh for me. I threw an exhaust pipe on it and tuned it up and threw some bars on it, but it is such a fun bike. So anyways, it came with inverted forks, and for back in 1993, that was a big deal. And you know, it's all water cooled, dual radiators, radiator fan. It is such a cool bike to ride. It'll do 110 miles an hour, and I can vouch for that. I've done it, tapped it out. And yeah, it'll wheelie in first and second gear. I've got it to I've actually wheelied through up until third gear, but I got scared at about 70 miles an hour and had to put it down. But anyways, there that is. I've ridden a bunch of crazy rides on it up Saddleback Mountain, which is a local mountain and stuff. And I'm going to be doing a video soon of going through this bike. We'll be putting a new tire on it, chain, sprocket, prepping it. You guys can hear it run. And yeah, so we'll be doing a video on that in the future. But besides that, we have my stand-up jet ski. And for any of you guys that know me, stand-up jet skis have a big place in my heart. This is actually older than me. This is a 1989 JS 550. And I got it all original. And since then, I've dumped insane amounts of money into it, finding every rare part I could over 5 years. So this is a full racing ski sleeper. It, you know, it doesn't look like it's that crazy, but one day I'll show a video of what's inside. But it has every West Coast and aftermarket part that you could ever want on a ski. It's got a bunch of prototype parts that were factory Kawasaki parts that I found. It's got a blueprinted and bored pump on it, dual cooling, bunch of other stuff. Such a fast ski. For any of your stand-up jet ski guys, you'll know how fun these are to ride. And this thing is a rocket ship of a 550. It's all bored out to about a 570. So it's pretty fun. So anyways, guys, I'll do a video on that in the future. And I also have some videos on my channel already of me riding it. So check that out. And up on the wall, I have my BMX bike. I used to love BMXing. I was big into that. And I still ride this thing around and throw some, you know, 360s and 180s. It's a Sub Rosa, all custom built, Sub Rosa frame, forks, you know, all the cool parts, Sub Rosa crank. This bike set up right here is probably about $1,600 all said and done with the stuff I got on it. So yeah, I love that BMX bike. I'm gonna pull it down here in the future and ride it. I'll do some videos on that too. And then besides that, I just got, you know, some of my old helmets I've crashed on. Every one of those helmets are no good because I hit my head hard. And then I have my workbench. It's a pretty meager workbench, but I got some tools, you know, lubricants, equipment, whatever, clean my guns here. And yeah, there's that. My mountain bike helmets. We got some signed and autographed posters. And yeah, so that's pretty much our garage tour. We have a couple Shovel Tech prototype shovels in the wall. That's my company. We make 100% USA chrome moly shovels. If you guys are into any kind of custom shovels or whatnot, send me a message and we can get you guys those. They're pretty exclusive. I don't sell them to everybody at this moment. But yeah, so there's my garage tour. There's all my stuff. But let's get back to this bike because that's what you guys came here for. That's what you came to see. So in this video today is going to be the first part of my pit bike build series. And we're going to tear this thing down right now. And I'm going to look at it, see what's wrong, see what's needed. And yeah, I already have a good idea of what I want to do to it. You know, new suspension, pipe, you know, whatever it may be, seat cover and stuff. So I have all that stuff coming on the way. But one thing I want to say is whenever you guys buy a used bike, it's very important to pull the thing down as far as you can because you don't know what's wrong with it. You know, the guy you bought it from, you don't know what he did. You don't know what's up. I already looked at this thing after I bought it and when I bought it, and I noticed a few major things. So you got to really go through your bikes when you buy them, especially used, and take it apart. So take the bike down to the frame, even if you got to take the motor out and start over. You know, grease everything, Loctite everything, inspect everything, make sure nothing's cracked, make sure everything's good. Maybe buy a manual if you need to, if you don't know how to put it back together or if you're scared. But go through your bike, get it prepped good, do your due diligence because you want the bike to be safe when you're jumping and railing on it. So anyways, there's my little tech tip for you guys with buying used bikes. I know most of you guys already know that. I just wanted to throw that out there. So anyways, here we go. Let's tear this thing down. Let's tear it apart and let's get into it. Part 1 of my KLX 110 vlog series. Here we go, guys. All right, guys, so we got the bike kind of torn down a bit. I got all the plastics off so we can kind of inspect more stuff. When you get the plastics off on a bike, especially this small, you really see a lot more what's going on. And then obviously a full takedown, you get the swing arm off, forks off, motor out, all that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna do that piece by piece as I replace the parts so it makes more sense to you guys as you're going through it. But usually I would just tear the whole thing down to the frame and then start from there. But for educational purposes and this vlog series, when I take the parts off, I'm gonna replace them with the new parts so we can just go piece by piece. So anyways, like I said, all the plastics are off the bike. Let's check it out. There's a few problems I saw. And when I first bought the bike, I saw some things, and now I saw a few additional things, nothing too bad. But here it is right here. Let's check it out. All right, so plastics are all off. There we go. Have much more of a visual on what's going on. So anyways, first off, the big problem I saw when I bought it is that the guy riding it, he was pretty difficult on her, and he broke every other spoke practically. So this wheel, I could actually completely move it by my hand, and when I ride it, it's about to fall off. So anyways, got to get new spokes on this. The rim is iffy. But I'm going to be getting a new front end that has a black wheel, so I'll be getting a new wheel for the back and then getting some better spokes, some more heavy duty ones. So that's one issue, boom. Another issue I see is actually pretty significant is that, look at that right there. You see that hole? That is one of 3 motor mount bolts, and it is gone. It is gone with the wind. So obviously it slid out this way. The nut came off and the thing flew right out, and that's that. So anyways, it's still got the 2 on the top, but it's missing that one. So I'm gonna need to order an OEM bolt for that. It's always best to replace these with OEM, especially because they're metric. Just don't go down to the hardware store and buy some, standard bolt, unless it's a, specialty hardware store that, sells metric bolts for the, right length and everything. And you want to have the right type of a wing nut on it so it doesn't come undone. So anyways, OEM bolt, gonna need to order for that. The spokes, rim back here, and then the shock is definitely blown out, completely blown out. So it looks to be an aftermarket shock to myself. I'm not really super knowledgeable with KLX 110 parts, but it's a nitrogen filled shock. I believe it is aftermarket, it looks like, but it's pretty rinky-dinky, and that's not going to hold up for the type of stuff I'm doing. So that shock's got to go. I'll hold on to it for a spare part, maybe rebuild it in the future. And then obviously the swing arm is fine, but it's stock and it's small, and that looks like it could break. So we got to get a new swing arm on this. And besides that, a big issue with these KLX 110s is, I guess, that these pegs, they get ripped out from the case because they're just hanging on by 4 bolts, and you slam bottom out hard, big dude, those rip out. So luckily, I checked it out when I bought it, made sure there's no JB weld or anything sketchy or time certs or whatever. I kind of spent some time looking at that. So that's fine as of right now, but that's not gonna hold up to my 185-pound person and the type of stuff I'm gonna be doing. So we're gonna be getting a kit for that, a full engine cradle and peg relocation kit. I'll be getting for that. So there we go on that. Besides that, the motor, it looks great from the outside. It runs great as well. We'll look into that in a future video of how it runs. It's got all the cool dress up kit on it. 2 Bros Racing, they built this back when they were doing that or whatever. So that's the deal. It's got the Mikuni VM26 carb on it. And something I forgot to mention is it does have a hydraulic clutch kit on it. So that's pretty cool. A Magura hydraulic clutch set. So boom, that thing feels great. It works great. There's the billet upper triple clamp it's got on it with the stock forks. Everything like that looks fine. Luckily, the head tube is not cracked at all. That's an issue when someone's pounded the bike. So no broken welds right there. That looks awesome. I checked all the welds. Nothing cracked. Subframe, even though it's not really a subframe because you can't really replace it, the back part of the frame, which would be the subframe on a big bike, it looks straight, it's not cracked, so I'm very stoked on that as well. Besides that, the front rim, it's great, it's true, no spokes are broken, but we're getting a whole new front end, so who cares about that thing anymore. The shifter right here, it's an aftermarket shifter, but it's kind of bent, doesn't look nice. We're gonna get a new one of those. Yeah, air filter, that's great, we'll just clean that. The bars, I like these bars right now. We'll hang on to them for a bit and see how that works out. And yeah, the throttle setup, everything like that looks good, feels great, cable feels great. Obviously we're gonna get rid of this front brake because we're upgrading the front end. On this side, you can see the whole aftermarket case for that clutch setup. That looks good. Everything aftermarket brake pedal, that looks fine, functions fine. We're gonna need to get extension on this setup right here for the longer swing arm. They have an extension for the back so that you can extend that rod. And yeah, carburetor looks great. It was kind of messed up, the float setup and the specs on that. So I tuned that. It took me a few hours to get it tuned. I had to pull it on and off 6 times. And I'll make a future video on how to get these carbs tuned in. It's very difficult for certain applications, but if you know what you're doing, you can figure it out with the float bowl adjustment and all your type of jet settings and needle jet and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, that'll be another video. We got the stock pipe on there. It's in great condition, but who the hell wants a stock pipe? So we're gonna get rid of that. And yeah, besides that, that's really the bike as it is right now. It's a great starting point for me, mainly just because it's got a fast motor in it. Like I mentioned, it's got the 143 kit with a the V2 head on there, and the carburetor actually has port and polish work done to it, as well as this intake manifold, because it was actually built professionally at one point, but just the suspension stock. So the motor, it's fast as it gets, and when I get that pipe on there, we'll be going from the 155 main jet to around a 180 to 185 main jet. The pilot jet stays the same from all the spec books I've been reading, but that main jet changes, and then we'll change the position on the needle as well, the clip on the needle. So anyways, guys, there's that. There's the bike. This is as far as we're gonna tear it down for this video. And like I said, as I get the parts, we will be putting them on, and that's gonna be the next videos. So yeah, there she is. I'm very stoked on this. It's gonna be a really cool build to follow. So make sure to subscribe and check it out, because we're gonna be doing new videos in the future. All right, guys, so that's that with the tear down today. That's all we're gonna necessarily do. If you guys like these type of videos and you guys like what you saw today, please make sure to hit that like button and maybe leave me a comment. If you could critique me on something I maybe got wrong or something that I didn't say that was right. I'm not a KLX 110 expert by any means, and I know some people out there are. So if I got something wrong on a part or whatever, you see something that is not right, please leave a comment, let me know. I love learning. I'm always open to learning. And yeah, I want to give you guys good information, and I want to share the stoked on these 110s and pit bikes because they're fun, and I'm really trying to bring back the whole pit bike deal here in Orange County and whatnot. So anyways, like I said, please hit that like button, leave me a comment. It gives me motivation to make these videos because I'd be doing this anyways, but hey, might as well pull out the camera gear and show you guys what I'm doing so that we could all be learning together and all be getting these bikes hopped up. And if possible, hit that subscribe button. The more subscribers I have, makes the channel look a little bit better. And yeah, then we can make some better criteria in the future and do some cool stuff. I got a lot of cool stuff planned. Off-road racing, dirt biking, you name it. We're going to be covering it. So I upload new videos on a weekly basis. So stay tuned. You guys will be seeing new vlogs on this build series. It'll probably be about a 5 to 7 part series until this thing's done, but it'll be a full super mod, fully ripping. And once it's done, we're going to be jumping it, mashing it, wheeling the whole 9 yards. So anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.